Please write me very attractive and very greedy hooks for old rare coins. United States of America most valuable Lincoln Wheat Pennies YouTube channel with start welcome to Coins X history and end subscription. Thanks with love for watching. Top 1. We are talking about one of the most interesting and last year coins of the famous wheat cent series, the 1958 D Lincoln Wheat Penny. This coin was struck in the United States of America at the Denver Mint, and it carries the small but powerful D Mint mark below the date. It may look like an ordinary copper penny, but for collectors, this coin represents the end of an era. 1958 was the final year of the Lincoln Wheat Penny design before it changed to the Lincoln Memorial in 1959. That alone makes it special in the hearts of coin lovers. The 1958 D Lincoln Wheat Penny features the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the front, a design created by Victor David Brenner. On the back, you see the classic wheat ears framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. This iconic wheat design ran from 1909 to 1958, making this coin the last chapter of a 50-year story. Now let's talk about rarity. The Denver Mint struck more than 800 million of these coins in 1958, so in circulated condition it is not considered rare. Many examples can still be found in pocket change, old jars, and family collections. But condition is everything. In lower circulated grades, this coin is common. However, when you find one in uncirculated condition with bright red original luster, sharp details, and no wear, the value starts to climb. Collectors pay strong premiums for high-grade examples, especially those graded mint state 65 and above. But what really excites collectors are the rare errors. Some 1958 D pennies show repunched mint marks where the D appears slightly doubled. Others may have die cracks, off-center strikes, or strong die clashes. These mint errors make an otherwise common coin far more desirable. The most famous rarity of 1958 is actually the double die obverse. But that variety is known without a mint mark and is one of the rarest Lincoln cents ever discovered. Even though that is a Philadelphia issue, it brings attention to the entire 1958 year and increases collector interest in Denver pieces as well. Copper composition is another important factor. The 1958 D penny is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. Because of rising copper prices and the historical significance of being the final wheat year, many collectors save these coins in rolls and sets. So what about real value? In circulated condition, a 1958 D Lincoln Wheat Penny is usually worth about $2 to $5 depending on condition. In brilliant uncirculated red condition, examples commonly sell for around $15 to $30. In higher mint state grades such as MS66 red, auction records have reached around $100 to $200. Exceptional top population pieces with superb eye appeal have sold for around $500 at major coin auctions. The value always depends on condition, color, strike quality, and whether the coin has any rare mint error. For collectors, this coin is not just about money. It is about history. It marks the final year of the beloved wheat reverse design that millions of Americans carried through wars, economic changes, and generations of everyday life. Holding a 1958 D wheat penny feels like holding the last page of a classic book, so next time you see an old wheat penny, do not ignore it. Check the date. Look for that small D mint mark. Examine the surfaces under good light. You might have a high-grade example or even an exciting error waiting to be discovered. If you enjoyed learning about the 1958 D Lincoln Wheat Penny and want more coin stories that could be hiding in your pocket, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Coin lovers, stay curious, keep searching, and I will see you in the next video. Top 2. We are diving into a classic coin that many collectors still search for, the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny with no mint mark. This coin was struck in the United States of America at the Philadelphia Mint. When you see a 1953 penny without any mint mark under the date, that means it was made in Philadelphia. During that time, Philadelphia did not use a mint mark on Lincoln cents, which makes the no mint mark version completely normal for that mint. On the front of the coin, you see the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The words "In God We Trust" appear above Lincoln's head. Liberty is on the left, and the date 1953 is on the right. On the back, the famous wheat ears surround the words 1 cent and United States of America. This wheat design had been in use since 1909 and would continue until 1958. Now let's talk about rarity. The Philadelphia Mint produced more than 250 million Lincoln Wheat Pennies in 1953. That means in circulated condition, this coin is common. Many examples can still be found in old collections, coin jars, and inherited rolls. But here is where things get interesting. Condition changes everything. If your 1953 no-mint mark penny is heavily worn, it usually carries only a small premium over face value. However, if you find one in uncirculated condition with strong red luster and no wear, collectors are willing to pay much more. Coins graded mint state with full original red color are especially desirable. Now let's discuss errors that can make this coin rare and expensive. Some 1953 pennies show double die features, where parts of the design appear slightly doubled due to a die misalignment during production. There are also repunched mint mark varieties on Denver and San Francisco issues, but for Philadelphia coins, collectors focus on double dies, die cracks, and off-center strikes. Broad strikes and coins struck on defective planchets can also bring strong premiums. Even a small dramatic error can multiply the value several times. Another important factor is color designation. Lincoln Wheat pennies are classified as brown, red-brown, or full red. Full red examples are the most valuable because they show little to no oxidation. Finding a bright red 1953 penny in high mint state grade is not easy, and that is where serious collectors compete. Now let's talk about real market value. In circulated condition, a 1953 no-mint mark Lincoln Wheat penny is generally worth about $1 to $3 depending on wear. In uncirculated red condition, values typically range from $15 to $40. High-grade examples such as mint state 66 red have sold at auction for around $200 to $400. Exceptional top population coins with superb strike and eye appeal have reached around $1,000 in major auctions. Always remember, value depends on condition, originality, and whether the coin has any verified mint error. For collectors, this coin represents the early 1950s era of American history. It circulated during a time of post-war growth and change. Every small detail on this penny tells a story of that period. So if you have a jar of old wheat pennies, take a closer look at 1953. Do not ignore the no-mint mark version. Check the surfaces carefully, look for doubling, and examine the color. You might discover a hidden gem. If you enjoyed this deep look at the 1953 Lincoln Wheat penny with no mint mark, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more rare coin stories, and stay tuned for the next valuable penny hiding in plain sight. Top 3. We are going back to the early 1950s to explore a coin that many collectors overlook but should never ignore. The 1952 D Lincoln Wheat penny. This coin was struck at the famous United States Mint in Denver, and you can identify it by the small D mint mark just below the date. If you see that D, you know it came from the Denver Mint facility. On the front, you'll find the timeless portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The words "In God We Trust" appear above, Liberty sits on the left, and the year 1952 is placed to the right. Flip the coin over and you'll see the classic wheat ears design with the words 1 cent and United States of America. This wheat reverse design ran from 1909 until 1958, making the 1952 D part of the final decade of the wheat cent era. Now let's talk about mintage and rarity. In 1952, the Denver Mint produced more than 740 million Lincoln Wheat pennies. That is a very large number, which means in circulated grades this coin is common. Many were saved in rolls, and many still exist today. But here is what makes it interesting for collectors. Condition is everything. Most surviving coins show wear from circulation. When you find a 1952 D penny with sharp details, strong wheat lines on the reverse, and original red luster, that is where the real collector demand begins. High-grade mint state examples are much harder to locate than worn pieces. Now let's discuss the errors and varieties that can increase value. Some 1952 D pennies show repunched mint marks where the D appears slightly doubled due to the mint mark being punched more than once into the die. There are also minor double die varieties, die cracks, cuds, and off-center strikes known for this year. While not extremely rare, these errors can dramatically increase value depending on how strong and visible they are. Because this coin is made of 95% copper, original color is also very important. Collectors classify these coins as brown, red-brown, or full red. A full red example with no spots and no carbon marks is much more desirable and can bring strong premiums at auction. Now let's talk about real market value. In circulated condition, a 1952 D Lincoln Wheat penny is generally worth about $1 to $3 depending on wear and eye appeal. In uncirculated red condition, Examples usually sell for around $15 to $35. High-grade coins graded mint state 66 red have reached auction prices of around $200 to $400. Exceptional top-quality pieces with outstanding strike and blazing red luster have sold for around $1,000 in major auctions. Always remember, the exact value depends on grade, color, strike quality, and whether the coin has a verified mint error. For coin lovers, the 1952D is not just another penny. It represents post-war America, a growing economy, and the final stretch of the historic wheat design before it changed forever in 1959. So check your collection carefully. Look for that small d under the 1952 date. Examine it under good light. You never know if you might be holding a high-grade beauty or a valuable mint error. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1952D Lincoln Wheat Penny, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more rare coin discoveries, and stay with the channel as we uncover more hidden treasures one coin at a time. Top 4. We are exploring a powerful and historic coin from the golden era of wheat cents. The 1955D Lincoln Wheat Penny. This coin was struck at the famous United States Mint facility in Denver, and the small D mint mark below the date confirms its origin. When collectors see 1955 on a wheat penny, their attention immediately rises. Why? Because 1955 is one of the most talked about years in the entire Lincoln Cent series. On the front of the coin, you see the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Above his head is "In God We Trust," Liberty is on the left, and the date 1955 appears on the right. Turn the coin over and you'll find the classic wheat ears design surrounding 1 cent and United States of America. This iconic reverse design was used from 1909 through 1958, and the 1955D sits right near the end of that historic run. Now let's talk about mintage and rarity. In 1955, the Denver Mint produced more than 560 million Lincoln Wheat Pennies. That is a large number, meaning in circulated condition the 1955D is common. Many examples still exist in coin collections and old rolls. However, the year 1955 is legendary because of the famous double die obverse variety. While that dramatic double die was struck in Philadelphia without a mint mark, the excitement around that error makes all 1955 cents more interesting to collectors, including the Denver issue. For the 1955D specifically, collectors look for repunched mint marks where the D appears slightly doubled or shifted. There are also minor double dies, die cracks, cuds, and off-center strikes known for this year. A strong mint error on a 1955D penny can increase its value significantly. Condition is the real key. Most 1955D pennies in circulation show moderate wear. In that state, they carry only a small premium. But if you discover one in uncirculated condition with sharp wheat lines, no wear on Lincoln's cheek or jaw, and bright original red luster, the value increases quickly. Full red coins are much more desirable than brown examples. Color classification plays a major role. Brown coins are the most common. Red-brown coins are more collectible. Full red coins with clean surfaces and strong eye appeal are the most valuable. Now let's talk about real market value. In circulated condition, a 1955D Lincoln Wheat Penny is typically worth about $2 to $5 depending on condition. In uncirculated red condition, examples usually sell for around $20 to $40. High-grade coins graded mint state 66 red have reached auction prices of around $300 to $500. Exceptional top population pieces with blazing red color and outstanding strike have sold for around $1,000 to $1,500 at major auctions. As always, value depends on grade, originality, eye appeal, and whether the coin has a verified mint error such as a strong repunched mint mark. For collectors, the 1955D represents an exciting year filled with history and one of the most famous varieties in the entire Lincoln Cent series. Even though the Denver issue is not the rare double die, it still carries the prestige of that legendary year. So take a close look at your wheat pennies. If you find 1955 with a small D mint mark, examine it carefully under good light. Check the mint mark, study the surfaces, and protect any high-grade example you discover. If you enjoyed learning about the 1955D Lincoln Wheat Penny, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more rare coin stories, and stay tuned as we continue uncovering valuable pennies that might be hiding in your collection right now. Top 5. We are traveling back to the mid-1950s to explore a coin that many collectors quietly search for, the 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny with no mint mark. When you see a 1956 penny without any mint mark below the date, that means it was struck at the Philadelphia facility of the United States Mint. During this time, Philadelphia cents did not carry a mint mark, so the blank space under the date is completely normal and historically correct. On the front of the coin, you see the legendary portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Above Lincoln's head is "In God We Trust," liberty appears to the left, and the date 1956 sits proudly on the right. Turn the coin over and you'll find the classic wheat ears framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. This wheat reverse design had been used since 1909 and would end just 2 years later in 1958, making 1956 part of the final chapter of the wheat cent era. Now let's talk about mintage and rarity. In 1956, the Philadelphia Mint struck more than 420 million Lincoln Wheat Pennies. That is a large number, which means in circulated condition this coin is common. Many examples can still be found in old collections, rolls, and inherited coin jars. But here is where it becomes interesting for collectors. Condition changes everything. Most 1956 no mint mark pennies show wear from circulation. When you find one with strong details in Lincoln's hair, a sharp jawline, and full wheat lines on the reverse, the value begins to increase. Uncirculated coins with original red luster are far more desirable than worn brown examples. Collectors also search for error varieties. Some 1956 Philadelphia cents show minor double die features, die cracks, and occasional off-center strikes. While not as famous as the 1955 double die, noticeable doubling or dramatic mint errors on a 1956 penny can significantly raise its value. Broad strikes and clipped planchets are also collectible when authenticated. Color designation plays a big role in pricing. These coins are graded as brown, red-brown, or full red. Full red coins with bright original copper color and clean surfaces are the most valuable, especially in higher mint state grades. Now let's talk about real market value. In circulated condition, a 1956 no mint mark Lincoln Wheat Penny is generally worth about $1 to $3 depending on wear and eye appeal. In uncirculated red condition, examples typically sell for around $15 to $35. High-grade coins graded mint state 66 red have reached auction prices of around $200 to $400. Exceptional top-quality pieces with superb strike and blazing red luster have sold for around $800 to $1,000 at major auctions. Always remember, the true value depends on grade, surface preservation, color, and whether the coin has a verified mint error. For collectors, the 1956 no mint mark penny represents the final years of a beloved American design. It circulated during a time of growth and change, just before the wheat reverse was replaced forever. Holding one today connects you directly to that era of history. So check your old wheat pennies carefully. Look at the date. Notice the absence of a mint mark. Examine the surfaces under good light and magnification. You might discover a high-grade gem hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed learning about the 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny with no mint mark, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more rare coin stories, and stay tuned as we continue uncovering valuable pennies that could be sitting in your collection right now.